Okay, Dan, so you knowing a lot about batteries, I know a lot less. I see that there are different kinds of batteries, a starting battery, a deep cycle battery, and I'm going to make the assumption that those names are self-explanatory, but I think you should dial me in to make sure that that's the case.
Sure thing, Jeff. So a starting battery is just that. I know you've heard that term before. That's what's in your car. That's what's probably on your boat for starting your engine. Well, when you start an engine, you need a lot of power very quickly. And that type of battery is designed to deliver just that, very high currents for a very short period of time. So again, the starting battery typically is what you're going to want to investigate. When you talk about a deep cycle battery, it's just that. It's made to pull a lot of energy out of the battery, and you can take the battery to a very low state without a fear of damaging it. You always want to keep it charged when you're done, but nonetheless, for running a trolling motor all day long, you really want to consider a deep cycle battery because you're going to get better performance, better life out of a deep cycle for that application.
So it is just as I thought it would be. A starting battery, obviously for starting your outboard, deep cycle for trolling motor, and then even for fish finder too. So good to know because I see things like when I go to look and shop for a battery, I'll see an RV grade battery and a marine grade battery. Now this one happens to be both marine and RV in a deep cycle form. But I can tell you this, I know there are differences in the performance, and where I fish is sometimes in the south, sometimes on salt water where there is a lot of pounding and a lot in the Great Lakes. And so I know the hull of my boat is going to be bouncing around, and so will those batteries. Does that come into play in my battery choice at all?
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Jeff, because if you, again, refer back to the battery manufacturer's website or data sheets, they're going to talk about certain batteries are marine grade. Everybody knows marine grade is a very high vibration environment. So they may take extra care into the design of marine grade batteries to help manage that vibration. As you know, these are very heavy and you have lots of lead in there, and those lead plates can move around. So you need to take care in how that battery is designed to give you top performance.
So although I may see maybe a price point advantage or some other kind of just in-stock availability advantage of a different kind, you really have to settle in on a marine grade battery based on the shock, the vibe, and some of the unique pieces that go along with being on the water. Okay, Dan, so looking at batteries, they've got numbers on them, 27, 31, whatever else. I don't know the right battery to choose. And so for me, when I look at that, I'm going to buy it, I'm confused. Take me through I guess they're group sizes of batteries. Take me through those and help me make a better choice.
Absolutely. So first of all, the group size is really a physical dimension of the battery. In the marine world, you see group 24, group 27, group 31 are the common ones. But again, that is just a physical dimension of the battery, and it makes it an industry standard. So if you have a group 27 and it fits well in your boat, you buy another group 27, it's going to fit in the same way. That's the intent of the group number. Now, we talk about physical size. In the case of the group 24, the group 27, the group 31, those incrementally get larger in physical size. Well, again, in general, when the battery is physically larger, typically it's going to provide you more power, right?
So do I look at that as almost like the gas tank in my truck? Like, a smaller 24, just in general, generally speaking, a smaller 24 has a little bit less power capacity, fuel than a 31 in general?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Easy to remember that way.
Yes.
So if I'm going to have a 12-foot John boat, all right, I may not need a Group 31, a larger battery with a lot more power, or that'll allow me to stay on the water during the day, and it's heavier, it's larger. So 12-foot John boat, I might be okay with a Group 24 in general, but if I'm going to have a larger fiberglass boat, I may want to be on the water longer than I am in a John boat and go to Group 31. Fair generalization?
Yeah, it's a fair generalization, and that's a common question for us at Minn Kota is what size battery do I need?
How do I know?
And it's a difficult topic to try to answer because I need to know how are you fishing? How big is your boat? Do you fish in wind? Do you fish in current? Are you on a river? So those all affect how much energy you need. And again, it determines, the size of your battery requirements.
So here's a way to maybe be able to make a good purchase or to know that I have the right thing. I would sort of err on the size of having a little bit more power than a little bit less anywhere I can. So if I can cheat that upward and get a little bigger battery, more power, it's probably at least the best way to handle that day to day.
It really is. If it fits on your boat and you're able to support the extra weight of the larger battery, it's usually the safe bet to go with the larger battery, and it just gives you that more run time.
Well, it's good to know because once you get on a bike, the last thing I want to do is run out of power. So if I stay to the higher capacity, that's a way to do it.
If you also are interested, you could visit our website at www.minnkotamotors.com, and we do have some battery selection guides that can help.
Which is really handy because every time I go to make a purchase, I feel like I forgot everything. So if I can go find a reference point, that's a good one to do. So those are group numbers, and now I know a little bit more next time I pick one out. So, Dan, things don't last forever, right? And so a general marine battery, you get 3 to 5 years or something along that lines, generally. But there's a time where you've got all of your use out of a battery and I start to see it not holding a charge or whatever. How do I know it's time to replace my battery? If it's dead and it's not giving any charge, right? But how do you know when to replace a battery?
Well, that's always tough because as you use your trolling motor and as things age, you see a slow decrease in performance. So it's not always visible that it's time to replace your battery. You can see performance changes in your motor as the batteries get bad. But again, when you're talking a trolling motor system, we'll have typically 2 or 3 batteries connected in series to get your 24 or 36 volts for your trolling motor. So as you see that performance goes down, you think it's time to replace it. The best thing to do is take the batteries out, have them load tested. You can do that.
How do I do that? Yeah.
You can do that at an automotive store. Some marine dealers will be able to do that, but they'll basically hook up some instrumentation and check the battery at load, no load, and give you a report on it.
Okay, so when I see the performance kind of degrading over time, and I've had my battery for a few years, it's probably time to consider getting a new one. I take my battery into my local retailer, marine dealer, even auto parts store. They can test that under load. I'll get a readout, I'll know. My boat has a number of batteries on there too, and so I don't know that they all go bad or the end of lifetime comes when one battery. But if I've got 4 or 5 batteries on my boat, only one of them has an issue. Should I take the others and have them load test, or what would you recommend?
Well, yeah, you would want to check all of them, but if you do find a bad battery, especially in systems where they're connected together, like for the trolling motor, you have 2 or 3 batteries, like we mentioned, connected together. If one battery is bad or starting to go bad and bad enough that it needs to be replaced, you really need to replace all of them at the same time. The batteries really need to be connected together that are the same age, the same type, same manufacturer, same model number. They have to match to really get optimum performance out of your system. If you don't do that and you only replace one single bad battery and the other 2 are again, different models or different ages even alone, those 2 batteries will start to degrade your new battery even quicker. So
I didn't realize. So the old batteries will wear on the new battery. That thing is great. So okay, well, which is nice because it's not like we're selling Minn Kota batteries. We don't do that, and it's not sort of a sales pitch, but it is just one for peak performance. If you have one that's gone bad and they're old, they're all the same age, it's probably time to renew the whole group.
And in the end, you could end up spending more money if you don't replace all 3 batteries at once.
And the funny thing is, I would be trying to save money by only replacing one, but in the long run, what you're saying is you need to replace them all when one has gone bad, which, when I look at the table, takes me to chargers. And so anything I can do now to prolong the life and the health of my battery is a pretty good thing. Let's dig into good battery maintenance and what we do in terms of selecting a charger and how we treat the batteries as we go on.